Good morning, everybody. And as I did yesterday, today I'm going to go ahead and give you guys your pre-market blueprints. I'm going to include all the ETFs in one video rather than doing it in three separate ones. Yesterday, if you go backtrack and look at the play that we were looking to accomplish here, a little rocky at the start, but we did end up nabbing this one for 300%. We hit an imbalance inside of the 50% mark of this empty space. And we pulled back. And then towards the end of the day, I said, I like how we're pulling back. If you were in the Discord or in the Discord, I wanted it to pull back that way. Now, between now and the bell, right, it's out of my control. But what I'd like to see is obviously 235.12 and the target being up around that 236. You move down into the 30-minute, the floor stays secure. The 15-minute, it changes, right? And it does become that overhead 235.39, but there's empty space or loose price action within it that I believe could give way to our next play up, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I was able to grab some off of the pullback here yesterday. I already had some off of the pop initially, but we are looking to see if we can accomplish that 237, 236 area. The 24-hour, again, still giving way. We have this bar up here that we're speculating on being able to go and fill up, right? This empty space in here. It looks good. It looks really good. And it's been a focus over the Qs, SPY, so on and so forth. So that being said, this morning, again, things may change between now and when this video reaches your ears, but the candle closes. Pre-market high will more than likely be that trigger up. 235, if you swung, will be trim one. And up here, right around that kind of, we're going to call it 50% mark, right? From here, anytime you have a wide fluctuation in price, it creates a range. It's just how it works, right? It gives you a floor, gives you a 50% mark, but doesn't necessarily give you a trigger. So with that being said, we'll see. This does and is a gap. So we'll have gravity pulling us back down if we're on it. In fact, we could even retest the gap before making a decision. So stay on your toes, stick to your motherfucking stop losses. No compromising. So anyway, that being said, we'll take a look at SPY as well on the 24-hour candle close. And I've already expressed my distaste for this setup or before the SPY and Qs, right? Both being lodged basically inside of, we can't even call it a box nor a range. On the 4-hour, we've talked about this one as well. We have, or do rather, clear up some of the price action debacle, if you will. That being said, we're sitting right around that 50% mark as well. I think and I'm going to go to the 2-hour just to make sure that I'm doing this cleanly. Okay. So build a box around cost basis, totally fine. Here's your range. Again, where's the empty space? What are the reasons that I'm not trading it? Doesn't mean you can't go, but what are the reasons that I'm not trading it? So this morning, keep your eyes peeled, right? For a pop over 665.29. At that point, I'd be looking at the 30-minute, and this is the clearest target to me. And this is a day trading setup, but it would ultimately be over and through 665 and 666.50 to reach a target of 669. However, this is a scenario where one could be looking bearish if we are unable to break or we pop out and reject and pull back down. That is 1, 2, 3. You could look for a new low there. If you're looking for a new low, fear not. You look over here, you don't even have to move time frames realistically, but it would be right around 6. Actually, take that back. Right there. So 654.78 day trading target if we did end up going for said break. All right, so that's SPY. Let's take a look at the Qs and see what they got going on. Now, I think we talked about a potential channel here, but this one has made it down to the bottom of, again, hard to call it a box, 1, 2, kind of 1, 2, 3, but it's one of those weird areas that clears up when you get down into a lower time frame, but also gives away this channel. And I talked about this. I mean, it bounced perfectly. And so this actually could set us up for a reversal. And I'd say the Qs, while they don't have the most empty space, probably have a better setup than SPY. And here's the deal. This morning on the hourly time frame, we're going to be wanting to look for Wait for it. $6.01. So actually take that back. 602.32. Range break, wicks coming off of that mark. Again, where's the empty space? Not much, but if you move down into the 30-minute, you will see almost the same setup as SPY with that box there. So again, one of these scenarios where you have 3 off the top. If you pop out, reject, pull back down, that could be short, or maybe, and this is where an area, again, sometimes we don't have to have a bias. Sometimes we have biases unlocked in the chart. So if we have a trigger fire off, you're bullish. If you have a trigger fire down, you're bearish. In this case, if we were to fire over 601, reclaim 605 or 606, make our way through 608.77, obviously not in one day, but 618 would be a likely target. Alrighty, folks. So IWM, SPY, and QQQ all lined up today. Again, remember, 24-hour candle closes and opens have a great deal to do with whether or not a stock or ETF can move in a day. And that being said, you know, with SPY and QQQ, there has not been any significant gaps in either direction. So we have to play it by ear. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great trading day. I hope yesterday was also a great trading day for you. Be patient, use good risk, and I will see you guys at the bell. Peace out.